Okay, so uh quote from Lois Lowry in The Giver. Behind him, across vast distances of space and time from the place he had left, he thought he heard music too, but perhaps it was only an echo. This is called The Humdrum's Got Talent. What was that song that I used to once hear all the time? Was it a rocker that laughed, fuck it all? And how many meanings to that? Or a slow song of love with the doo-wop and curls, all about love now living or lost? Or a musical sermon on racism, kindness, or joy? When did it die, that perpetual voice and that ring in the air? Was it killed by a growling and bitch-slapping beast, or blinded by smothering kitsch beauty science, perchance? Is freedom still a catchword? Do we still like air? Something happening here, but clearly I dasn't ask what. Do we again have to fight alone against the monster, just like in the old days, but without that same music? Why should I worry? I'm not in the showbiz. Okay. So this one is called Murmurs of Gravity. I've attempted a ghazal in what's it called? Dactylic hexameter. I'm not sure how well it works, but let's see. All of the time that you gave me just left me with whispers and great weight. Breathless and wondering, I was a pupil of whispers and great weight. Overwrought images come to my mind in a flurry of overstrained thoughts. However much I might wish to be flying away, I'm in whispers and great weight. Fantasy empires flutter around me, lost in the wind, full of emptiness like night. I try to remember, give meaning to dreams, but now whispers in great weight. Where is the butterfly seeding the rose and the lily that blooming brought light? You were the softness of nighttime we shared as we hid in our whispers in great weight. I would go back to that time when we lived in the best of our sunlight and moonlight. Highlights and blacklight built visions we nourished with whispers and great weight. Uh, this is called Hospice Report. It's self-explanatory. I keep losing them. I keep losing them. All the ones I valued most. I still have family. For how long? More cherished with each loss. Do feelings twist my face and rule the day, and must I raise a toast? I lose them, I lose them, all the valued friends that made me think the most. Best friends down the years, childhood lost, a wish to believe in ghosts. I think that in some way I'll see them once again, some stupid river that we'll cross. I've lost them, I keep losing time, they vanish one by one, the ones I value most. But still I have my family, for long, more cherished with each loss. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I read this here before. Okay. Wages paid. I wished that love were in the air, that justice ruled the ether, that it were true the every vow pledged by the lying gods. They hold us in their they hold us in their velvet iron, devise the schisms each from other. I wished for love in all the air, for justice in the ether. Their justice is a joker's game, their love is like the weather. They're not the gods they try to mime, the casino stacks the odds. I blindly wished for loving air, for justice ruling ether, but it was true the every vow intended by those lying sods. Okay, one last one. This is called Lull. I catch a slight drift of vanilla air that some might perhaps sense as a scant, hungry glaze. It is barely a jingle, only a tone, just catching the sun in a moment of time. It isn't a wonder, it lasts but a nonce, but I sit back in my calloused chair, slip away from the days. Is that really vanilla, this drifting of air? And why would I sense just a scant, hungry glaze? What of these dust motes, my day-to-day thoughts? Why have I built such a frangible maze? If ever you felt that your life isn't you, are you played by a front or an irritating mime? I catch a slight drift of vanilla air that some might perhaps sense as a scant, hungry glaze. It is barely a jingle, only a tone, just catching the sun in a moment of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Wow, I love that catching the slight uh, catching the sense of vanilla in the air and a sense of, a sweet glazing. How gorgeous that is. Uh, Lost in the wind, full of emptiness, like night. I love that, full of emptiness. That is such a glorious paradox. Um, your hospice report, very poignant and moving, more cherished after each loss. Um, I've lost them, and you said to time basically, and time passes so fast in that poem. You have loss after loss, and as time goes on, very, very poignant. Um, and you have they're not the gods they try to mime. What a poem that is. And as always, your barbed social criticism poems really sting. They're like really they hit the target. You know what I mean?
Maybe they don't sting
Oh
the right
well.
people.
Right, yeah. If only they could sting those in power and change them. But I also dactylic hexameter. Wow. I've been studying poems in written in Alexandrines. And if anyone doesn't know, 12 syllable rhymed couplets, perhaps. Uh, Paul Valéry in his La Jeune Pas, the young fate, writes in Alexandrines, and so does Apollinaire with his poem Zone, which I was listening to again. So I'd love to try that. That was amazing.
It's
Okay,
not an English,
yeah.
it's not an English meter, it's Latin,
Okay, okay. Very good. Very good. Even
Greek and
better.
Latin.
Nice. Okay.